and and do like a copycat before you eventually become an expert. So, and that is why today's session is one of the most important of those sessions. And it is Emmanuel Joseph that will be taking us through. Emmanuel Joseph is a distinguished first-class graduate of the University of Benin. He is an highly regarded strategic information personnel, and he works with one of the leading public health organizations in Nigeria. He is recognized for technical excellence, creative problem solving, and it shows that it's relentless in his commitment. Because in November 2025, during the S Analytics 30-day data verification challenge, Emmanuel demonstrated extraordinary mastery and consistency by successfully building more than 27 professional grade Power BI dashboards in just 1 month. So his work is characterized by very clean data modeling, like we saw in the previous one, that is going to guide us to replicate. And you can see how clean, how deep, how insightful his dashboards are going to be. And beyond this accomplishment, it brings a mentor's heart and a teacher's clarity. He has done it by himself. Now he wants to show us how to do it. And I have the privilege to make him a co-host so that he can come off mute and takes it from here. Emmanuel, you can unmute yourself and then take it forward.
All right. Thank you so much, sir. Um, I appreciate this opportunity, and I hope that we are able to get the most out of it. So, actually, I think between the months of November and I've not said this to you publicly, but maybe this is a place to mention it. When I met you in the last cohort, for that's the Elevate cohort for Joanna Tech, I realized that there are a lot of things that you have that I so much have been looking forward to. And I've been watching you closely, and I think I've been benefiting a lot from this platform. And I want to believe that every one of us here will also have the opportunity to learn and expand from where we are at the moment. So thank you so much, sir. Thank you, everyone in SI Analytics for this opportunity. All right, so we'll be going straight into our class for today. And I want to welcome everyone to today's class. All right, I'll be sharing my screen now. I hope I can be heard.
Clearly, from my hand.
Yes, we can
All right,
hear.
thank you, sir. All right, confirm you can see my screen.
Yes.
Oh, yes. All right, thank you. So this is looking at building your first dashboard. I'll be looking at the visuals, the interactions, and the possible filters that we can have on the dashboard. And you can see the breakdown of what we intend to achieve. We should be able to build a dashboard from scratch. But before we go into the building of dashboard, there are some basic things that we need to look at. And some of them, you will be getting to hear them as we start the building process. I want to believe that we are all with our laptops and we have Power BI installed on our system, because that's the best way for us to be able to learn by following whatsoever we are going to be doing today. So, and maybe after the class too, I will share this with the organizers so that they can also share with us some of the basic things that we need to understand. Number one is chart selection. Now, we need to be able to identify the data type that we are working with. So across the different columns, the different fields, we should be able to know, is it categorical data I have? Is it numerical? Is it time-based? When we say time-based, it means we are looking at dates, which could be days, months, years, as the case may be. Numerical, just like revenue from a sales activity or profit that was made from a business. Then you can also categorically, we can look at the gender, could be the gender of the customers that are buying the products. We can look at the region of the customers, and we can also look at the products, the different products. They are categorical. It means they are not numbers, they are in text. So now, the first thing we are looking at now is when it comes to chart selection, there are certain criteria that we look at. Firstly, are we looking at part to whole? So are you trying to compare parts of a particular variable? Let's say in a business, you have wholesalers and retailers that are patronizing a particular business, and you want to show, okay, who is making the most contribution to the business. So the charts that you can use in such situation, we have the donut charts, we have the stacked bar, we also have the tree map. So since we are looking at building our first dashboard, we are going to be very basic in our approach. So we may not be able to go into all of these charts, but you will take it as an opportunity for you to also do extra work and develop yourself in those other areas. But then when we are looking at correlation, now correlation basically is looking at relationship between variables. And most of the time, when we talk about correlation, it has to do with numerical variables. Let's say I have revenue generated from a business, and I have the quantity of products that were ordered in different fields or columns of a table or a data set. Then I may want to check, okay, what's the relationship between the quantity and the revenue? Is it that the higher quantity that is ordered, the greater revenue that you have? And you could also look at, okay, a whole lot of other numerical variables that may be related to that particular data set. So we have bubble charts, we have scatter plots. We'll be doing scatter plots. We have column line. This column line is a combo chart or visual that combines both the column chart and the line chart. So we'll move to the next for our chart criteria. And we have comparison. So are you trying to compare two variables or more? When you're doing comparison, these are the charts that you'll be looking at. We have bar charts, we have group bar, we have line charts, we have stacked bar, we have area charts, we have donuts. You can even use map to also compare. Like you have several regions that are patronizing a business. You want to check, okay, which of these regions is doing better or is contributing more to this business than the other, especially when you are dealing with sales representatives and all of that. We have bubble charts also appearing here, donut chart also. Now, anywhere you see donut charts, also know that the pie chart can also work there. So I forgot to include pie charts in this particular listen. So for distribution also, you are seeing distribution is also similar to what we considered initially. So for distribution, you have, okay, you want to check what percentage of a particular variable is contributing most. And most times we have the group bar that helps us to check distribution across different things. Also, pie chart can also be here. Donut chart can also be here when you want to check distribution. But one of the chart that stands out here is the bubble charts. It is very key in this particular criteria for chart creation. Now, for trends, when we are looking at data over time, it means that you want to check a period of time, how there's improvements in the business, in your sales, in one activity or the other based on whatsoever field you are. Could be in the healthcare. You want to look at, okay, how many patients have you been able to attend to within the past 2 years, within the past 3 years? How many clients have we been able to see on a monthly basis in the past 1 year? All of those things is data visualized based on time. So we call it trend analysis. We can use bar, but one of the charts that stands out when it comes to trend visualization is line charts and the area charts. Then we also have the stacked area charts. Now, the line chart and the area charts, they are variants of each other. I think area charts and the stacked area chart are variants of the line charts. And we'll look at those things deeply or critically as we proceed. So we just have to have an idea of the criteria behind the charts that we select. Then you also have your stack bar, you have waterfall analysis, the bubble chart is also here. Then for ranking, are you trying to rank your data? So when you are doing ranking, you can use column charts, you can use bar charts, but in those ranking, you have to order the particular variable that you are interested in. So you order it according to whatever you want to measure. Sometimes it could be that you want to look at the top performing customers in your data set. It could be that you want to look at the let's say the region that has the highest population. Maybe you have the population data set. So you can do that, you order. Then you have ribbon, we have funnel, we have the composition charts. Now, so when you have an idea of what you want to do, it guides you in your chart selection. So that's the basics that we need to have at the back of our mind as we proceed. Then beyond selecting your charts, another thing that is very important to us is color, theme. So for that, we'll be looking at the color theory. Just talk about basically what the color theory has to say. Now, when we talk about color theory, we are looking at the rules and guidelines that guides every designer that is doing anything with color. Maybe you want to design a dashboard, or you want to even do graphics design. You want to build a website interface, that's the user interface. Now, all of these things, you need to understand the principles behind colors and how to communicate those colors with your users through appealing color schemes in visual interfaces. So for the start, the first thing that you need to understand is the color wheel. Okay, permit me to just let me spotlight this now so that we can see it clearly. All right, so this is the color scheme now. Sorry, the color wheel rather. Now the color wheel has three different components. You can see the triangle inside. That triangle is looking at the primary colors. We have the red, the yellow, and the blue. Then you can see the other colors surrounding the triangle. Now, those three colors are the secondary colors that you get from mixing the primary colors together. Now, look at this orange. You can see this orange was gotten from mixture of yellow and red. You can see green. Green is gotten from mixture of blue and yellow. And by the time you mix two primary colors together, you get secondary color, which is what we have, those three: green, orange, and purple. Now, when you now mix the primary and secondary color together, you will now arrive at the tertiary color, which we call complementary color. You arrive at a tertiary color. Now, look at this wheel now. You can see this. Look at this yellow. This is the color wheel now. The color wheel is actually this red, these circular colors you have around those other things. So the triangle and the other one, they are just demonstration on how they arrive at the color wheel. Now you can see yellow. Yellow is the primary color. Now you can see after yellow, there's a color that is yellowish, but it's not yellow. And after that color, you have the orange. Now, in between yellow and the orange color, that color that you have in between is known as the tertiary color. And it's gotten from yellow, which is a primary color, and orange, which is a secondary color. Then you can look at others also. Let's pick between blue and green. You can see green, you can see blue. In between green and blue, green is a secondary color, blue is a primary color. In between green and blue, there's another color. That color that we get in between green and blue is a tertiary color. So most times it's named according to, it can be bluish green or greenish blue, depending on how they name. I'm not really interested in the naming convention now, but it's good we also understand that. So that's that for the color wheel. Then let's look at other aspects. All right, let's look at the color model or modes. Now let me zoom out also for us to see it clearly. And this is the color mode. Now for every design, especially anything that has to do with display on the screen, because most of our dashboards on Power BI, most of them are going to be displayed on the screen. Either you develop it for presentation in the organization. You can even do a mobile version where they can also look at whatever you have designed on the mobile phone. However, this is not just the color model that we have, but this is the RGB. You have the primary colors, then the colors that you get from mixing all of those other colors, depending on what you have. Now, these colors that you have here, these colors that we have here now, we have yellow, we have blue, we have red. But the difference between this and the color wheel is that color wheel is looking at this segment from primary, secondary, down to tertiary. But this is not like that. This is just the way they can different colors to arrive at visuals or color theme that will help present whatever you want to do according to color. Now you will understand with me that color is very important in visualization. And there's this common understanding of, okay, green color shows that there's progress, red color shows that there's a decline or there is no progress and all of that. Then you can see some colors that are seen as neutral colors. So all of those things are there. Now let's continue. Let's not spend so much time here. Let me look at the different properties of color. All right, so these are the properties of color. We have the hue. The hue is looking at the color itself in this color wheel. Like I said, okay, I think let me just zoom this. This should give us a better insight. So you can see now, this is the color wheel here now. So we have complementary color scheme. That's what this slide, this particular colors is showing. But I just want to use it to explain these properties of color. Now, all the colors you have on this color wheel, they are referred to as a hue. That's the color that you can see. So when you now begin to do toning on those color, or you begin to lighten the color, or you begin to darken that particular color that you have in design, then you are going to arrive at certain saturations and lightness of color or value of color, as the case may be. Now, like I said, the hue is the normal color that you see. When you now apply black or white color on any color, what you are going to arrive at, the property you are going to arrive at is lightness of the color. It's either going to be light or it's going to be dark. And when you decide to apply gray color, now you apply gray color on any color, that's when you get saturation. Now you can have a color that is highly saturated, and you can have a color that the saturation is low. So it depends on the level of gray color that is applied. When we talk about gray, when you apply too much gray color, we say that the saturation of the color is low. When the gray is high, the saturation is high. So when the gray is much, the saturation is low. When the gray is high, the saturation is not as we expect. So now we just have the three different color scheme that we are going to be working with in design. One of them is looking at the monochromatic color. This monochromatic color, you can see this green color that I'm zooming now. Let me just spotlight it. We have different shades of green. So it means that if you see the design that was displayed when we started, that is a monochromatic design. Just one shade of color that we toned to arrive at the different colors that were used for that particular design. So this is the monochromatic color. That's when you have different shades of a particular color. This is green color that is toned. You have different shades, whether through application of white, black, or gray color. So this is it, monochromatic. Now we have complementary, which is what I zoomed earlier. Now complementary, if you look at your color wheel, is a circular wheel. So when you draw an arrow from one color to the other color, a straight arrow from one color to the other color, you see that the two colors that are opposite each other on the color wheel, they are seen as complementary color. So this is the complementary color scheme now. So when you have blue, violet, and orange, yellow, they are complementary. When you have green and red, they are complementary. When you have yellow, green, and violet, red, they are complementary. So this is how to identify complementary colors. And you can see examples here of how they are paired. This is orange and blue violet. This one is blue and orange. You can see red and green and all of that. So those are the combinations that gives you complementary color. So we're looking at that also in our design. Then we have analogous colors. Analogous colors, when you look at the color wheel, you're going to be seeing that the colors are next to each other. Sorry, I want to zoom a little from here so that it will be bigger. All right, so analogous color, there are three colors that are opposite to each other in the color wheel. You can see green, yellow, and orange. They are opposite to each other. So they are analogous. You can see others. So any three colors that are next to each other, they are analogous. So if you want to do a design, you can choose to pick three colors that are next to each other on the color wheel to guide your design. So basically, those are the things you need to understand about color. Then there are sites that you can go to get your color theme. When you want to get a color theme and you are looking for a cool color theme, you go to sites, you can get sites. I think one of those sites is these colors. Let me look at this. Okay, you can see this color. Is it colors now or colors? It's COOLORS. If you go to that site, you can get color scheme from there, how to mix different colors that are cool for your design. So basically, that's all for that. Then the last thing that we are going to be looking at before we now start looking at the various visualization is your design layout. So by the time you have understood how to select all the criteria behind the visualization of the dashboard or the visuals you are going to be picking, you need to also understand the layout of whatsoever you want to design. Now, like Dr. Benga was showing us earlier on, he was trying to make us understand that as as somebody that is learning how to do visualization, you need to be able to mimic what people have done in the past. What does it mean? He's trying to tell you that you can decide, just get a data set, go online, search for dashboard layouts or designs, and just sit down and begin to see how you can bring something out that can look exactly like that, or it could be a variant of whatever you have seen. And what you can bring out of it can even be more better than whatsoever you were using for your design. But you must be able to have something that you're referencing in your design. So now we'll look at the different layouts. So we have the F pattern. Okay, I think this is clear. I don't know, are we following? I want to be sure that we are together. I hope we are still together. All right. So this is the F layout or F pattern for your design layout. Now you can see this first box here. It's going to be the header or the title of the dashboard. Then you have by your by your left, there's another layout by your left. That is where the filters are going to be. Then at the top, in between the title and the other visualization, you have some tiny layouts, some smaller layouts here. These ones, they are actually going to contain KPIs. When we talk about KPIs, it could be cards that is visualizing, okay, which customer is the top performing customer in this particular data set. What is the number of products that this particular company is actually marketing or selling? All of those things, you can see it under your KPI visualization. This is the layout for KPI. Then you can see these other four boxes. So we have two in between the KPI and the other bottom one. So this idea of this F pattern is that the shape of the visualization is looking like F. Let me insert a line now to demonstrate that. So let's say, all right. So this is a line. This is another line. So I think, let me rotate this shape 90 degree. So you can see this is the idea for the naming of the layouts. You can see it's looking like F. So you have your KPI, then other visualization, then this part that shows the filters or the slicers. That's where you have the, okay. All right, so the next thing is the Z pattern. Now this Z pattern is like this. You have your title, you have your KPI, then you have in between. Now, what the idea behind this Z pattern is that the KPI, they are smaller visuals, but in between the KPI and the bottom visuals, you have a prominent or a large visualization, something that is bigger than every other visuals that you have. So it means that attention is being drawn to that particular visualization. So it's going to look like a Z shape based on how we view it with our eyes. So like I was saying earlier, now this pattern is not just based on the layout. The design of this pattern is also based on how we tend to look at the design when it is done. So it's expected that the eyes will look from the KPIs to the right, from left to right. Then this big visual is the next thing that the eye will be seeing after the KPI. Then it comes down like this and goes back to this end. So that's how they come about the Z pattern. Then there's another one, the quadrant layouts. This one now, okay, I've demarcated it already. It's like having four different divisions that are similar. It's like your dashboard, you divide it into four equal parts. So this is what we have here. So you can see three visuals here. You can see three visuals here. We have one. But if you look at it, it's looking like you divided this into four equal parts. Though it's not, it doesn't have to be completely equal, but it's looking like something that is almost equal in size generally. So divided into four. So that's the layout. So now the next thing we are going to do, we are going to have the layout that we are going to use for our visualization now. So this is the practical part now of designing the layout. Before we go into anything, let's design the layout that we are going to be using today. So this is what we have. This is a plain canvas. There's nothing on this canvas, but we have what we want to visualize. I think let me go to the end now. Let me show us. All right, this is a dashboard that we want to create. So now we need to build the layout for this dashboard so that you not just come and at the time you are trying to bring one visual, you don't know where to place this, you don't know where to place that. So it's advisable that you have a layout. You just create a layout. So when you are doing a visualization, you just okay, once you do it, you know where to drop it and all of that. So I'm going to do something that is very close to this layout. So let me move that practical this thing to the end. So that's all right. So that we can be looking at the dashboard and be building the layout together. So this layout is looking like the Z layout, though not completely Z layout, but it's just a variant of the Z layout. But if we want to categorize it based on what we have said, it's going to be Z layout, but it's not completely Z now. All right. So the first thing we have is the title. So I'll just go, I'll come here. So what do I need? I need to insert shapes. So this is rectangle. I'm using rectangle. So I'll pick a rectangle. Oh, it already has color. Let me change the color to all right. So this is where my title will be. So I can still adjust it later, but let's say okay, the title is here. So this is the title. Then the next thing is where my filters will be. My filters are going to be here immediately after this. But let me leave the filters first. Let me handle the KPIs or the card visual. So I want to insert shape also.
Yeah, so
So
Emmanuel, excellent job. Do you want to
yes, sir.
find out? Do you want to find out if everybody is with you? If they
Okay,
have
let me. That's
data,
true. Let me see how
they
many of
open
us
their
are
canvas.
actually following.
Hmm. Let's find out.
Please, how many of us you can react for us to know that you're actually following?
Yeah, I think a lot of people, Emma, a lot of people are following. Excellent. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I think you are doing great. Well done.
All right. So that's good. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have this. So we are trying to put our cards together. Let's just so now because the cards I'm building there are plenty. I don't necessarily need to go and be inserting again. So I can just do Control C. I'll copy this particular one. You can see it's selected. So just do Control C, Control V. It will copy and paste. So I'll just drag it to where the next level. Do the same Control C, Control V. You do so that to save you time, you do the same like that as you move. So you can see now, we almost have all what we have. I think we have 6 different cards. Let me see. Okay, we have 6 different cards. You can see that the dashboard has changed because the theme I choose affected this particular visualization, but we'll come back to that. All right, so let me just do the last one, Control C, Control V. So it means I have the different KPI layouts now. So the next thing now is I have a trend line that is next. I don't. How many of us have been able to get the KPI or the card visuals? That's the layout. How many of us have been able to set the layout for that card visuals?
Yeah, so Adewale is asking a question, or
Okay. What's the question? Please, can you unmute and speak?
I think
Yeah,
we
can
are.
you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
All
What's the
right,
question?
so it's more about getting the data set before we go into this, or
Okay.
should I not worry about the data set and just follow up with this?
No.
Okay.
So,
So I'm going to import data sets also. So you need the data sets handy so that when we get to that point, you follow along as we import and restart our.
yeah. So, please, can you pause a bit? Let me show. Let's pause a bit. Yeah. Please
Okay, all
pause
right,
a
sir.
bit and let's see something. Yeah. Let pause a bit. Let me guide this man on what to do. Okay. So, yeah. So, okay. Please, Emmanuel, allow me to just quickly to share my screen. You need to reshare your screen. Yeah. I will share my screen. Okay. All right. Let me see. Okay. So as a non-user, so this is what you have, right? Adewale, please confirm that you can hear us out.
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, just come here. Download Word file. Once you click the link that you were given,
Oh, okay.
you just come here, you download it, download Word file, and then you have it on your computer. Have you done that? Do you have it?
Yes,
Apologies,
I
Emmanuel. Do you
click
not
it
have it?
finish.
Yeah, okay, great.
Yes.
Yeah, so let me confirm again as Emmanuel continue that we all have this data, yeah? Sales orders.xlss. This is the data we're using. So once the day answer, that means you all have it. Emmanuel, please continue. Thank you so much, sir. Well done.
All right, thank you, sir.
Yeah, we're following you. Yeah.
So I'll be sharing my screen with you.
Okay.
All right. So I don't want to assume that we are following you. Please let's speak up. Thank you, Mr. Adewale, for that. All right. So we have this now. like I said, since it's shape I'm working with for my layouts, I don't really need to be in certain shape every moment. So I just need to copy and paste. So to copy, I'll do Control C, then Control V to paste. So basically, so I think something like this for my trend. Okay. So once you copy, it's just for you to drag it and place it wherever you want to place it. So I think that should be something that we should all be able to do. So I just keep dragging until I get something that is close to what I'm looking for. All right, so I think these are layouts already. So this is what I'm looking for. I've gotten the layouts. It may not be perfect, but as I continue with my visualization, I will be able to begin to adjust it to suit whatever I'm able to get from my data. Now, there are certain times that when you are doing your layouts, some of your shapes will be the same size because the visual you want to place there, they're about the same size also. So you don't really need to be creating something different size and all of that. Because we try to, as much as possible, maintain uniformity in our design so that there is no chaos at any point. When you look at the dashboard, it's able to speak to you. You're able to see what you want to see instantly. Not that you are looking at dashboard and it's not clear, you are confused. Now, all right, when I'm done with this now, this particular thing is giving me yellow. So what I will do is I don't usually stick to this white canvas, but I can work with it depending on what I want to design. So, but in the layouts that we have, in the particular dashboard we are mirroring, there is a background color on the canvas. So I'm going to do that now. Put that. When I do that, then we'll just go to the visuals, start building gradually. So now on the canvas, this is, if you check, once you click outside all these shapes, just click on the canvas. You see this visualization pen here. This visualization pen is giving you build visual. It's also giving you format page. Now, under this format page is where you will be able to change the background of the canvas. You can see canvas background. You can see different page information, canvas setting, wallpaper, filter pin, field cards, and all of that, filter cards, and all of that. So all of these are the things you can do here. But what I'm interested in is this canvas background now. Is white here. I'm not going to do anything to this color. I just reduce the transparency. Oh, okay, it's white. I don't need white. Sorry, it's not transparency I'm going to work with. I'm going to pick the yellow color that is there. I'll just pick the yellow color for my canvas background. Then under the transparency, I'll drag. You can see as you drag, you see that the thing changes. So there's a level you get to, the color will return to white. That's when you go to 100% transparent. So when your transparency is 100%, that color is not showing at all. But for us, let me see 25% transparency. Okay, you can see something like this. Let me see 50%. You can see. So you can adjust the color. So now you can see now it's white. When you talk about transparency, it's like you have a color and you are using white on the color. You are trying to fade the color a little, to tending towards white. That's what you are doing. But so we have our layout, though not perfect yet. We'll perfect it to continue. All right, so let's move on. For our visuals, we have different visuals that we are going to be looking at. And the first visual is line charts. We have the line charts. Okay, let me start with bar charts rather. Let's start with bar charts. Okay, for bar charts now, it means that we are going to be importing our data because at this point we'll be working with the data. So let me go to my home tab now. Home tab. Let me draw this down a little. All right, so get data. I don't know if we have been following the class from day one to date. We should be able to do this. But for those of us that may be new to the class, so you want to import, you go to get data in the home tab or ribbon. You come to your Excel workbook. Now, the reason we are picking Excel workbook now is because the data set we have is an XLS workbook. So it's an Excel workbook that we're working with. If it's a text or a CSV file, you have other options that you can pick from. Sometimes you can even get data from the web, but we are looking at the Excel workbook. So I'll click on the Excel workbook. So it will now take me to where, to my system now. Here is at the download. My system download has the data, but I don't want to use the data from the download here. I want to use the one from my documents. So I'll click on documents so I can see the sales orders data set. So I'll just click on it and click on open. So the importation is done, but we have to specify what we want. Now, the reason why we have table 1 and sheet 1 here is because the data set we have is an Excel workbook. So it's on a sheet and there's a table there. So we are going to import the table, not the sheet. So I prefer to import the table. I'll do that now. So when I'm doing my imports, I don't load direct. I prefer to look at my data set again to be sure that what has loaded is actually, or what I'm importing is actually what I desire to see. So I'll just click on transform data. So take me to the Power Query editor in Power BI. So at this point now, I can see my data. So these are the different variables or columns. So you just observe each of them, look at them to see which one has the data, has the correct data type, and which one does not have correct data type, and you align data type to suit whatsoever you want based on the data that is available to you. But sometimes you can have, okay, let me look at, okay, this price now is in decimal. Sometimes this price can be in whole number, and most times you have price in decimal. So if I have a price in whole number, I usually prefer to change it to a decimal number. Sometimes your date can even come as text or something, depending on how the data is imported. But for this one, we have a clean data set, so we don't really need to do any transformation. But what I will need to do is I want to rename this table 1 to the data, to something that is suiting the work I'm doing currently. So I'm building a sales dashboard, and the data set is sales orders. Now you can see that my S is capital, my O is capital, then every other thing is small letter, then there's space in between. Sometimes I can choose to name like that, but most times I prefer my name to be all in small letter. Sales, then I'll use underscore to separate the different text orders. So I'm okay with this. So I'm good to go. I'll just load. So for me to load it to my Power BI, I just do close and apply. All right, so at this point, I would like to confirm if we are still together. So are we all at this point? Have we gotten to this point already? Okay, I'm seeing thumbs up. So I think we can go on to close and apply. So I'll close and apply. So you can see the data is loading in my Power BI already. Now, when it gets to Power BI, I can also come to the table view here to look at the table. So let me look at the sales orders. So this is the demo I did before now. So these sales orders, I'll just click on it. And you see the table here also. You can see the different columns. If I click on this column now to show me that, okay, data type is one number, which is okay. This one, you can see format is dates. You can see all of them. So all data types, I think they came out exactly the way I wanted. Let me check discounts. Okay, decimal. So we are good. All right. So we'll start with our bar charts. Now, for us to build, for us to build our visuals, one of the things that we need to do is to be able to get our measures. And for us to get measures, we may have to do some calculations. I prefer to do calculations because I know that we have an implicit measure, we have explicit measure. Explicit measure are the ones that you calculate yourself. So I prefer to do that calculation myself so that I'm sure of whatever I'm seeing. That's the best practice. But you can also use the implicit measure to check if what you are doing is actually in line. So before I create a measure, one of the things I also like to do is I want my measures to be on a separate table. I don't want it to be in the same data set so that when I'm building, I know where to pick what, and in case there are similar names between the measure and whatever I'm creating and whatever data set I had before, I'll be able to easily distinguish from them. All right, so I'll just I want to go back to the Power Query. I want to create a table, a blank table where I'm going to put all my measures. So what I'll do, I'll go to transform data. Still at the home ribbon, you can see transform data here under queries. So I'll click on it to bring me back to my Power Query editor. So I'm here now. Sales orders data set. I've clicked on it. But what I need is I need a new, I want to create a table. So okay, the best thing I'll do is just to do enter data. Let me just do enter data. So it's asking, this is the column now, column one. It's also giving me the name of the table, is table. But I don't want table. What I want is, I want it to be measures underscore sales underscore orders so that I can easily distinguish it. So I've done that. I'll click OK. So this is where I'm going to be dropping all my measures. Another thing, I don't want this column to show, this column one. So I'll just right click on it and remove it. So I have empty table. There's nothing on the table. So I'll close and apply, just as I did before now. It should load. All right, so when I come here, it did not load. Okay, maybe there's a mix up. I think I needed to create let me see. Let me just do it directly from Power BI here. I needed to add a measure before deleting it so that it cannot be totally blank. All right. Let me just load this one. So if I go to my data view, it has loaded. It shall have the measures, sales orders. All right, this is what I have here. So what I'm going to do next is every measure I'm going to create it under these measures with this column one. I'll just do right click, new measure, and that's all. So basically, we're going to be creating just simple measures for the sake of time so that what we are interested in is just visualization. So we've dealt with creating measures and all those other things on that before now.
Hello, Mr. Emmanuel.
Is somebody speaking? Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. So I don't know about others, but the last step you did for the measures to show on here, it's not happening
Okay.
over my side. On the Power Query editor, it is showing, but it's not showing here.
All right. So
So I
what
didn't get
come back?
what you did.
Okay, what you do is I had to do away with that one. What I did was instead of going to the Power Query editor, I just came back to let me remove this measure. Let me delete it, cancel. Okay, so see, this is what I did. In your home tab here, you can see your home tab here. You will see enter data. So instead of going to Power Query editor, I just decided to do it directly from here. So that's the beauty with Power BI. You have different features and you can see them in different places. So it depends on how you understand the interface. So you click on this enter data. That's what I did. Then rename this table. So I renamed it to what I wanted my measure to carry. Then once you are done, you load. That's all I did. I don't know if that's clear. Can you confirm that you heard me
I get
or
it
you
now.
are okay with
Go
it
back
now?
to the Power Query to go and delete that other one, or it doesn't matter.
Yes, yes. You can delete it from Power Query. Have you been able to create this one now?
Yes.
All right, so I think we can proceed. So the next thing I'm going to be doing, like I said, is let me just expand this data. So I want to create measure. So the first measure I want to create is total revenue. Now, if you look at that data, very there is total orders at the end. So that total orders is speaking to total revenue. What do I mean by total revenue? That's money that they're able to generate. They have sales price, they have discounts. So when you minus discount from your sales, you are going to get the revenue that is coming to the organization or the company. All right. So I want to do, I will name this total revenue. Okay, let me just say underscore revenue. So now I'll do sum. So what I want to do now, I want to do sum of that total orders column or variable that you have in your data set. So sum, I'll just go to total orders. Okay, it's not showing here. Okay, okay, it's order total, it's not total orders, it's order total. So I'm using the sales orders data set, and the column I'm working with is order total. So that's what I'm going to select. So this is my measure, total revenue. I'm done. Just to click enter. So you have total revenue is equal to sum of the orders total column in your sales orders data set or table. So I'll just click enter. Oh, total revenue used for a measure before. Okay, I've used it for a measure before. All right, so I'll just rename it. Let me use total revenue. So this is my total revenue. So I'll do total quantity also. So I'll come here also, right click for a new measure, total quantity. Total quantity. So this total quantity now, we're looking at the quantity that of that particular order that was made. We want to total everything together. So let me say quantity. So you can see quantity here. I'll just select it. So I have some sales orders quantity. So I'll close my bracket and click enter. So I have my total quantity measure created already. Then the next thing is, let's look at the orders that were made. How many products were actually ordered? Now, if you go to your data set, you have, let's look at the sales. Under the sales, you can see that we have product name, product category. You now have product number. So this product number is the number for that particular product based on the name that is on this particular data set. So it means that if I want to get the different or the actual distinct number of products that were actually sold here, I just need to do what? Do distinct count of this product number column, which is what I'm going to do. Maybe we'll try the product name also and see if it's going to return the same results. All right, so I go to my report view again. So I come back to my measures, right click, new measures. So now I want to do total ordered products. Ordered products. So this one is going to be distinct or distinct count. So, and I'm going to use my product number. So I can see this is my sales orders products. You have product name, product number. So I want to use the product number instead because I believe that that one is going to be unique to the product. So I'll just pick it, select, close. So it means I have other products. Then another thing I can do is so discounts. There's total discounts. Let me even check the dashboard you want to mirror. What are the things that are there? We can continue our visualization from here. So every other thing we'll look at later. But I want us to build distance counts as a measure before we proceed to our visualization. Okay, so all right, I have total product ordered, I have average order value, total discounts, total orders. Okay, I've not even done total orders. Total quantity sold. All right, I've done orders. I'll do total orders and total discounts, then we'll start our visualization. Okay, so let me just go back. All right, so I'm still in my data pane here, new measure. So let me do total discounts. So I'll go to sum. I want to sum the discounts column on my database, on my data set rather. So this is what I'm going to have. So I'll click enter. Then I also want to do total order. So new measure, total order equal to
Yes,
sum.
Alexis.
All right. Is somebody speaking?
No, sorry. I wasn't muted. Okay, thank you.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah.
So this is my total orders. I want to use the orders number. So the orders number also is also supposed to be unique to every order that was made on that particular data set. So that's what I'm working with. Oh, I'm using the wrong data. I need to use the sales orders data set. Sales orders. All right, sales orders, order number. We got it. Okay, so I've closed. And so I have the measures I think I need for now. So let's go with our visuals. So what we are going to be doing is, as we build the visuals, when it's time for us to build our dashboard, we'll just be moving them to the dashboard for the sake of time. So, all right, for bar charts, when we talk about bar charts, what is a bar chart? What's a bar chart? What's a column chart? Now, a bar chart is, I would like to be showing us the charts as we proceed. Now, you can see a bar chart. So for Power BI, this cluster bar charts that we use for our bar charts, and we use it for, we have single bar chart, we have clustered bar chart, we have stacked bar chart, and we have 100% stacked bar charts.
Emmanuel,
So,
please, Emmanuel, let me address one or two questions in the chat. Thank you so much.
okay, all right.
Yeah, you are doing well. So Andrew said we are not getting the DAX. Emmanuel, you're not repeating it all. So Andrew said we are not getting the DAX. Andrew said, can you please repeat the DAX before we continue? No. So last week was about the DAX. And apart from having a full two hours plus on DAX, there's a guide that you can go to understand the data analysis expression, the DAX. So I think you just bear with us today. You will follow so that we don't take more time. Allow Emmanuel to take us to the destination where you can revisit this video and you can go back to your study guide for last week. You get. So then also somebody who is asking, Joel, can distinct count work too for the total order? I don't know the correlation of that, but the reason why we use distinct is to be sure that we're not counting something twice.
Yeah, it can also be used.
Yeah, okay. All right.
It can be used. Yeah. So based on the data set we have, it can be used. So looking at that data set, there is no the other number is distinct self for all the is like the key, the primary key rather. So it's unique across. So there's no order that has the same order number. So that was why I had to just do total. But in a situation where you have one order number appearing more than once, you use distinct counts. I don't know if that is clear. All right. So for our bar charts, like I said, so the bar charts, there are four different variants. We have the single bar. So for Power BI, we use clustered bar charts for both the single and the clustered. So it's the legend that determines whether it's going to be clustered or not when you are doing your design. So look at that. Then the bar chart and the column chart, they actually look similar, and I will not say the same now. Because the way we visualize both of them is quite different. The way we visualize both of them is quite different. All right. For the cluster bar chart or the single bar chart, most times we tend to want to use it for ranking, and also in situations where the column charts, maybe the data set that we have, that particular categorical variable that we are working with, the text, they are very long. So if you put it in a column chart, you may not be able to present it in a way that your stakeholders will be able to actually look at it clearly. Let me use an example now. Okay, this is the cluster bar chart. So let me just pick it and drag it here. So you can just click on your chart, go to your visualization, then build visual. You will now select the clustered bar charts. I've selected it. Now the clustered bar charts, we have X and Y axis. The S axis is going to be your value, and that value is numerical. While the Y axis is your categorical variable, category label on that particular variable that you're working with. So let me go to our sales orders data set. What categorical variable can I pick here now? Let me pick product category. All right, product category. I'll put it in my Y axis. Then my X axis, I will now pick total revenue. All right, so this is a bar chart. And what's this bar chart telling us? This bar chart is showing us the total revenue that was generated from the different product categories. You can see them: robots, drones, robot kits, and all of that. So that's a visual. So you're able to tell your stakeholder that, oh, from the data set that we have, oh, this is total revenue that we're able to make from this different category of products that we have. All right. Then, like I said, the bar charts and the column chart, they are actually a variant of each other, or they are similar. But before we go into that, let me add a legend to this now so that you can see what I mean by the cluster. Let me say I want to add the customer type now as a legend to this place. Now you can see that the display has changed. So you now have your total revenue for robots separated based on the customer type. So where the customer is a business person, you have your orange. Where the person is an individual, you have your, is it red orange now or orange red, as the case may be, based on the color that we can see on our screen here. So this is the actual cluster. But what we had before, without the legend, what we are going to have is what? Just as simple cluster, that's bar charts, simple bar charts, does not have cluster. So this is it. Then if we want to do stacking, we can also stack, but let's leave it at that. You can check that on your own. Then let's look at the column charts. So I can decide to take this particular data. Let me copy it. Okay, let me Control C V. So I've copied it here. All I need to do is, because they have similar characteristics when we look at column and bar chart, I can just click on it and go and click on my column chart visual, cluster column chart visual. It will automatically turn it the other way. So you can see the same charts, but different presentation. Sorry, the same data sets, but different presentation. You are trying to present the same insights in different ways. So you can see now. So for me, I prefer to visualize this using the bar chart, not the column. So, but it's fine like this. If I don't want this product category, let's say what I want is which other, let me use other type now. Okay, let me even use product name. All right, so you can see product name. This is what we have. This is a very long, listen, if you drag, you'll be seeing the different products. But most times there is, I won't be doing this kind of visualization because they may not be able to really, whoever you're presenting it to may not be able to really get the details from what you are presenting. So most times in presenting this kind of visualization, I prefer to use a bar chart and do a ranking so that we can see the products that were sold more than others, or the products that we made more revenue from. So let's say I want to do that. Let me convert this particular column chart now to another bar chart. I've done that. Now this is it. You can see a long list of products. But I want to rank it based on the top 5 products that generated the highest revenue for the organization. What I'll just do is I'll go to my filter here. So I'll come to filter. So we are addressing filtering now for visual. So this filter is going to be applied to this visual. So I'll come to my product name. I want to order the product name or select the first 5 products that generated the highest revenue for the company. So I'll click on this drop down here. You can see filter type. You have basic filtering. Basic filtering is the one that you can just decide to pick one product out of all the products. So I've selected only one. I can select 2. I can select 3. I can select 4, and it keeps coming like that. So, but when I select all, it will return all the products again for me together. Now I can start to say, okay, require single selection. If I click on require single selection, what I'm trying to say is that you cannot select more than one. So let's see. Okay, first of all, before I click on this, let me unselect all of them. I've unselected everything, so I want to click require single selection. So if I come here now and I click this, you see, you can see that if I click another this thing, it will leave automatically to that particular product. That's requiring single selection. What I'm saying is, in essence, is I just want single selection in this particular filter. Don't filter more than one. But that's not what I want to achieve, just to demonstrate to us. So I won't check it. Go back to select all. Then I'll change the basic filtering to top N. So top N means I want to visualize the first 5. So under my top now, I can also do bottom. Under top N, you have different options. You can do top or bottom. I can start to do visualize the top 5 or the bottom 5. When I say top 5, I mean those that generated the highest revenue, 5 products. Then the bottom can do 5 products that generated the lowest revenue for the organization. But let's do top. You can practice the bottom yourself. So top is 5 I need. So I'll click on the 5. Then I want to do it based on what? The total revenue. So it means I'm going to drag my total revenue from my data to this particular value that we have here in our filter. So if I drag it here, it has appeared. Now, everything is set. The next thing I need to do is what? I need to apply my filter. So I'll just click on it. Automatically, it will select the top 5 products that generated the highest revenue for the organization. So I want to believe that we are good to proceed to the next visual from here. Are we good to go? All right. So line charts. So for the rest, we are not going to spend so much time again. So for line charts is line and area charts. It's just if you come here, you will see all the charts as you hover around these visuals. You see different the names will pop up. So this line chart. Let me just select line chart and drag it here now. So this line chart, I want to use it for trend analysis. So you can see now, line chart displays continuous data as points connected by lines. You're able to track or monitor revenue generated monthly over a period of time. You can also check performance across periods. So this is what we actually use for trend analysis most of the time. Then you can also get to see patterns from your data by the time you do trend analysis using your line charts. So let's pick our revenue. So I'll take my total revenue now. I'll just click on it. So sometimes you just have to click, sometimes you have to drag. So if you click and it does not place it where you want it, you can drag to where you want it. So since I am doing line charts, the value is going to be on the y-axis. So when I clicked on it, it went to y-axis straight. So now I want to do it monthly revenue generation. That's monthly revenue trend is what I want to visualize here. So I'll just go to my dates. Other dates is where I'll get it. Now this other date is a hierarchy. So it's a date hierarchy that Power BI has been able to do for us. Power BI is a very smart software. So he's able to look at the data and say, okay, with this date, you can get day, you can get month, you can get quarter, you can even get year. So, but I'm interested in the months. So I'll just click on months now. So you can see now, you have a trend. This is a monthly trend now. And you can see from here that, in April, there was a peak revenue generation. In October, there was also a peak revenue generation based on the data set we have. So it means that October and April are months where we had highest revenue generated. But I want us to look at something. Let me put the year, add the year to this visualization. Sorry. I want to pick the whole dates now. So this is the old dates giving us this, but we don't need this because we want to be able to see what the data is saying clearly. So let me remove the quarter and the day. So this is what we have. Removing quarter and the day. This is what we have. So with this now, I can actually do a drill down. What do we mean by drill down or drill up? Is your ability to be able to go granular and at the same time compress your visualization. Let's click on drill up. So when we drill up here, what we have is just 3 years. The data we have is just for 3 years. So drilling up, it has been able to give us a trend, for yearly trend now for the 3 years. So you can see total revenue by year. If I drill down, sorry, I've gone back now to where we were. So if I want to drill down, if I'm in here, I can drill down. But this did not allow me. Let me just pick quarter. So I've picked quarter now. Let's drill up from here. Let's see what we are going to get. You see quarter. So it's when you now drill up again that you now get here. So it's your ability to be able to go granular with your data. So, but we are not going to apply this now to this particular visualization because I'm going to be using a filter to be able to check my data, go granular with my analysis. So I'll just remove the year and the quarter. Let me just stick with the months. So I'm done with the line chart here. So let me just drag it back here. Now there's something about the area chart. The area chart is just a variant of the line chart. And the difference is just that this lower part of the chart is going to be filled with a color. Let's say, let me copy this particular visualization now and click on the column, sorry, the area chart now. Just click on area chart. You can see it's the same chart, but there's a fill under it. And that fill is just to help you to be able to see volume. That's what it's trying to make you see. The magnitude of change that happen over time. So that's what you're able to see from this particular area chart. So area chart is basically volume. We want you to is try to emphasize volume of whatsoever has been done. But line chart is also show you the points and how they link to each other. You can see trend that this month we did well, this month did not do well. So in place of that, our line chart, we can also have the area charts and we still get the same results. All right, so I think we are done with this. Let's go to card. So cards and KPIs. So you just need to click on cards. All right, so in November this year, we have the new card visualization. The old one has, should I say, retired now in Power BI. There used to be one other card that we were using before, but it has been modified now. So let me click on the card. This is what I want to visualize next. So now what the card is able to help you do is you can see the specific measure and it helps you to be able to get insight at a glance. As you just look at it, you can just say total revenue generated. Bam, you have the data. So let's pick total revenue in this card now. Okay, I've clicked on total revenue. It has given me this because I clicked outside. So, but I'll just change it to card. So you just want to go to card, change it. This is it. So I have my card now telling me that the total revenue generated is what? Total revenue generated is 5.73 million total revenue from our data sets. I can also decide to check total quantity of products. We have 55,000 quantity of products. So basically,
Emmanuel, are you still sharing your screen?
oh,
No, let other people confirm, but I can't see the screen. I lost you for a bit.
okay, I think it's my network.
Okay, so please reshare your screen so
Let
that we
me
can
share my screen. I'm sorry about that.
No, it's not your fault. I think it's the network's fault. Yeah, well done.
All right. Hope
Yeah,
my screen can be seen now.
yes, we can see your screen now. Yes, thank
Right.
you.
Thank you, sir. So you can see now, we've been able to see at a glance, you just see your total revenue is 5.73 million. So these
So
things,
one thing you can do,
dashboard.
can you just do maybe rewind by just telling them what you did? I think they missed it.
Okay, let me just delete this and let's just do the card again. All right, so for the card, like I said earlier before the network, so what we need to do is just click on your card, visual, then you come and pick what you want to visualize. Now I want to check total revenue. So I'll just click on total revenue. So I have the total revenue here as a card for me. And what this does for you is that what you cannot see from your table, that data set, you can just see it at a glance. So if somebody just have that data set, the person will not be able to know the total money driven that was generated. But with this card now, you can just see so from that data set, this is what was generated as total revenue. You can even see total quantity that was sold. So let me pick another card now. Let me total quantity now. So if I click on total quantity, automatically it's coming as a column chart. But what I will do is I will just click on card visual. Automatically it turns to the card visual. That's what I did. So this is what we have. This is our card. So we are going to have these cards for our visualization, our dashboard. We are going to create cards for each of those total discount, total orders, and all of that. This is how we get cards. Now for KPI, so let me show you. Now, we may not be able to create KPI from this our data because we don't really have a target. And I would have gone ahead to do year over year revenue generated. But because of the filters we are using, I don't want to go that route. So, but I'll just show us what the card looks like. Sorry, the KPI looks like. So this is the KPI. Good. Let me see. Sorry. So trend as is. Okay. The thing is, the card actually used to have a kind of trend underneath it. So as you're looking at the card visual, you are getting a lot of information at a glance. You can see the trend of the data you're looking at. Let me pick. Now, let me remove this total quantity as targets. Let me not add targets. So I'll use the date as my this now. But since it's hierarchy, let me use hierarchy too. So this is based on year, but let me even remove it. Let me just pick months and drag the month to this trend so you can see. So it will tell you revenue generated by months and also show you the trend as it goes. But for us, we may not be able to work with this card now, this KPI rather, because we don't have a target. But let's assume, let me add where is price? There's price and let me use price as targets. Let's see. Okay, we can see with price as targets. You can see revenue generated for the months, and this one now is looking at the percentage increase based on the goal that you have. You're supposed to have 5, that's 52,760 as the price. But this was what was generated. 385.49. This one is not appearing well because I've not aligned the data set to be able to show this correctly. So I'm sorry about that, but you can learn about this as you go. But the idea behind the KPI is that you're able to see a lot of information at the same time in a very small space. You don't have to do so much. All right. So I'll remove. Okay, I can just leave it here. So let me go on to donuts and pie. Now for donuts and pie charts, now for your variable that you're looking at, especially the categorical variable, you must ensure that the data is not so much. What do I mean by so much? Let me use products category. Okay, donuts. Let me pick donut first. Product category. So I'll select products category here. Now you can see we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 different category of products. So if I want to visualize it using donut charts now, let me use revenue now as the numerical variable that I want to see. Now you can see that you have so much data here. So for the use of pie charts and donut chart, it's advisable that you limit your visual to a variable that the category is not so much. If you have 2, 3, sometimes 4, but you should not exceed 4 at any point. But me, I advise that we stick to 3, 2, 3. But 4 is also fine, but do not exceed 4 at any point, so that whatever you are trying to communicate, you can communicate it clearly. So now, there's the difference between the pie chart and the donut chart is that there's a ring in the donut charts, but the pie chart is a whole circle that is divided. Let me just show a pie chart now, so that this is a pie chart. So it's a very common visual also. Let me pick this. Then let me pick customer type, yeah, as my legend. Now you can check this. This visualization is better than the one we have down here. The reason is this. This one, looking at a glance, you can see which customer type is doing better or is generating more revenue. You just know that the business guys are the ones that are generating more revenue for the company than individual customers. So you just see it at a glance. But this one now, you have to now start looking at before you can take your eye to get the details here, the person might have lost interest. Now, one of the rule in visualization is that in 3 seconds, somebody should be able to look at whatsoever you have done and be able to draw something insight from that visualization. So not that the person will have to now be straining his or her eye to see what you are doing, or have to now be thinking so much to understand. No. Within the shortest possible time, 3 seconds, the person should be able to see, it's business guys that are patronizing us more than individuals. All right, so that's that for that. So, I don't know what's here. Okay, duplicated this. Then there's a table visual that we can also look at. This is table, just like the normal table that you know. So this is a table. You can just drag each column. So as you pick, it will keep ordering them accordingly. So let me select customer type. You see, it has added the column. If I pick discounts, it will add. If I pick total revenue, it has added. So this is a table. So you can also visualize table in Power BI. So it's not always cards, it's not always trend line. Sometimes you want to show more details on the table. So this is a visualization that shows customer name, the customer type, sum of discounts, and total revenue. So in a table, then this one is not supposed to be doing what's supposed to be matrix or matrix visual. Just increase the fonts to 24. No, please. All right. So from this particular visualization, it's similar to a table, but it's a very powerful tool. Let me show us what we can do with the matrix. All right. So let me pick another thing. Let me mention this. The order of your selection is going to determine the order of the arrangement of the different variables that you have selected in your table visual. So, but what you can do is, after your selection, you can decide to reorder it. We'll do it with the matrix now. Let me pick not customer name now, customer type. So I have customer type. Now you have rows, you have column. That's the difference between the matrix and the table. For table, you just have one particular visual. You just column as you drop, it adds to another column, drop, adds to another column. But here you have rows, you have columns. I've dropped business individual as customer type now as my row. Let me drop a column. Let me use revenue. Okay, the field cannot be. Oh, sorry. It is not. It's a calculated distance. Let me use state. All right, I have a state. Then I can now drop that particular total revenue as my value. So this is how it works. So you have column. Any variable that you drop in your column is going to this one is too much. Let me use something that is small. Let's use product category as our column. Something that is not too long. And let me expand it so that we can see everything. So you can see now, this is the matrix visual. So you can get the different product categories based on the businesses and the revenue. Everything is clearly stated. So I can say from those customers that are into business, how many of them ordered blueprints? Or what was the revenue that we generated from blueprints? We have 70,227. So you can do the same for all. And another powerful tool about matrix is I can decide to add to this role. Let me pick my order type now. I want to add order type to the role. Now you can see that drill down that we experimented in the trend is here now also. So you can drill down to see, you can also drill up here too. But this is the best way. You can come here, you can see one plus sign in a box beside business. Once you click on it, it will show you retail and wholesale. That's the other type now. So you see under business, you have both retail and wholesale guys that are doing business, that are coming to patronize the products. Then under individual, you have just retailers under individual. So you can see now, we have been able to expand this a little. And we have moved back up. So let me, I've removed the drill now. I've moved to just the retail and wholesale. That's the other type. That's another thing that you can do here. Then let's go back up and all of that. So basically, I think we are done with the visuals. So build our let's build our dashboard. within the shortest possible time that we have now. Let's see if we can do something in the next 10 minutes. All right. So now the first thing here is okay, sales. All right. So my filters, I'll just go and get my filters ready. So this is what I will do. Okay, so let me just take the thing back to where it was before view, so that this was the thing that we used initially. We just build something around this. All right. So the first thing is sales dashboard. So I'll just come here. This is it. This is a shape, but I can type text
Yeah,
inside this shape. Okay.
Emmanuel, just
Yes, sir.
give me 1 minute. Thank you so much for what you're doing. So
All right,
everyone,
sir.
apologies, uh, we were meant to be done about 18 minutes ago. We had a network glitch. So we are craving your indulgence so that we can actually complete this. So if you think you do not have enough time to wait, you can exit and you'll catch up in the video recording. But if you have the bandwidth, please stay behind so that it completes this mounting of so that it completes mounting the dashboard. I know you've followed him in the journey of creating the visuals. It's now for him to mount it so that we can have a complete dashboard. So if you think you don't have the time, you can exit. If you have the time, please stay behind while we continue. Thank you. Over to you, Emmanuel. Thank you. Well done.
All right. Thank you, sir. So I think I'll be a little faster. But if you, in case you feel I'm too fast, you can actually draw my attention. All right, so sales. I'll just go to my shape. So this is the shape here. So this is already on the team. So we're not doing so much again because I just designed that using team. I did not go to use my own specific colors. So I'll just do this. This is a rectangle. Now, I don't need rounded corners. If I need rounded corners, I'll just increase this. So you can see you get rounded corners, but that's not what I want to achieve. But for us to know that you can actually get those corners rounded, which we are going to do with others later. Then my style, I want to be able to add text to it, so I'll on it. So this way I will now type my sales dashboard. All right, so I have my sales dashboard. So I will now increase the fonts. I want to use this particular font, Segway UI bold. Then, because it's a header, let me see 30. Okay, I think this 30 is okay for me. So I just, all right. So this is the sales dashboard. I've done this. The next thing I'm going to do is I'll go and pick my filters. So the first filter I need. So what I would do is the slicer I'm going to be using. I'll use this slicer. Let me click on it. I have the slicer here. So I'll just pick year, which is the first thing I want to use on the slicer. I'll pick year. So now I've picked year, but I don't want this visualization. I just want a drop down. So one of the reasons why I use drop down sometimes is because it helps to save space. So when you come here under your visual, you can see slicer settings. So you can check, you see drop down. So I'll just pick drop down. So I'm good to go. All right, so another thing is the font for this particular slicer. You can see the header here. So let me click on it. The text is here. So I can start to increase it to 14. Then the font also. Let me use this semi-bold. Then I think I'm not okay with black. I want to use white so I can use a background. But let me leave. Okay, let me just do it. So for the background, I want to use here. I want to use the background that is same with what I have for my dashboard. I'll just click here. Is here. But ordinarily, I don't like singling out or picking just background for this particular header. So most times I prefer to just go to the general here and under effects, just pick background for everything. So you get background for everything. Then for this particular call out now, that is all for the year. When I go to my visual, I'll see the value here. So I can change it to, okay, it's 12. I'll leave it there. The font now, I want it to be, okay, black is still okay for me. I want the background for that particular text, and that background I want is white. So that's how it came about that other guy. So I've gotten my year filter. So just for me to copy and paste. Then instead of year, I'll just uncheck the year here and bring in months. So I've gotten for months, copy and drop, do the same. So instead of months now, I want to get, let me check the dashboard again. I think it's customer type. Okay, we have customer type, order type, and product category. It's customer type. Okay, this is my customer type here. Sorry, I was supposed to pick from here. This means remove this, change to customer type. So I have customer type. So order type is the next. All right, so I'm done with all of them. I'll just resize them to be able to fit into whatever the space I have. Okay, let me resize from here. So one of the things I can do now is for me to get the same size for everything, I can start to select. So let me say my general now, properties. Let me say 100. You know, let me say 65 or 68. I think I'm okay with 68. This is 150. Let me click 120. 120 is too small. See, 140. Or let me just do 150. So now I will order everything. Let me go to format now. I want to align everything horizontally, distribute horizontally, so I can be on the same shape. Okay, it means let me change it to 160 and see. Okay, all right. So I think I'm okay with this already. So the next thing now is our cards. So we started our card visual already. Let me pick this now. Before the card visual, I think I want rounded edge for all these shapes. So let me just select all of them. Mm. in a rounded corner. So, it's not working. Okay, it goes to rounded corner, rounded corner, rounded corner, effects. Sorry, it's a shape I want. Rounded corner, it's the shadow. Okay, let's shadow, border, rounded corner. So let me do 15. So let me remove the border. I'm going to put from here. All right, so I'm getting what I need to do. It has a shadow and also listed. So I'll just save it for one. Let me just do. So you can see when I select, I do format painter. It will give me the same listing for all of them. It's too much for this. So I'm doing that. So I want everything to have a rounded corner. So I think I'm okay with this, for all of this. Then for this one, the rounded corner, I think let me just make it 5 or 10. 5. See, let's make it 10. See what you're going to get. Then shape rounded corner. Okay, so I think I'm okay with this. I'll just format printer and distribute it across. Okay. Right, so we've gotten one. So I just need my card visuals. Total revenue. This is total revenue. So I just move it inside this place. And most times I just remove the padding here to ensure that it's able to fit in better. But you can choose not to. Then another thing I do is this total revenue, I turn it off completely. So I use header instead. So let me just select something now. So card title is what I will use. I'll turn it on. I just put total revenue. So why this other one? For my visuals, I'll just go to the cards. The what are the colors? The label. I'll just turn off the label. So I can have this. Then one of the things I'll do is I don't want this thing to show. So I'll just remove the color, the background color completely. So let me go to effects, just turn off the background color. I'll turn it off for this also. Sorry, background color, turn it off. Then under the card visual, I'll turn the background off too. So the last one, call out. Okay, I've turned call out. It's a card now. You just turn it off. So you turn off everything. Then for this particular listen, I don't want the border around it. So let me just remove the border. So I'm done with what I want to do here. But it's not coming out clearly. So it's the padding now that's causing it. So just make it 0. Cross the cards, padding here too. Make it 0. Then the spacing here, just make it 0. So everything can just, all right. So, but this text now, I want to ensure that the text I have here is a particular distance. So let me go to the header. I'll just, this 14, I want it to be bold a little. So I'll pick this, which is a bold or semi. I want to pick semi bold now. Then it's black. So I'm okay with it. So it means that I need to increase the size of this shape to be able to accommodate what I have. All right, so there's one thing I've not done. So one of the things I'm supposed to do is this particular visual, I'm supposed to ensure that these boxes behind it, I check all of them, and I don't want the feel that it has. I want to remove it. Let it just be transparent. Picking, okay, property, that effect now. I want it to be transparent, not this. Okay, it's the shape now. And that shape style, I want it to be transparent. Don't want this. Let it be white, transparent, without borders, so that you can have something like this. And this one also, you do the same. The shape style, let it be white, be transparent. So, or you just pick this, format it, use it. So, and drop this guy here. So that's what I'll do. I'll just copy this now and drag it and drop for the others. So here now, we get, instead of total revenue, I'll change it to total quantity. So then I'll go to my title and change it to quantity. Then I can drag this so I can fit in. I'll just save it for this. And just copy, drop. So, okay. So let me use total orders for it. Total orders.
Yeah, so once you are done with the third KPI, I think you should go and bring those
Okay, I
charts.
should bring.
So no, so that
Okay,
so that no, so that we can have assignment for our people. So so that they can do the other ones.
okay, all right.
Yeah, you have showed them how to do three of the KPIs, then they can do the remaining three KPIs. Then you
Okay,
can
I think
you
that's
can
fine.
yeah, yeah. So it's a good assignment for them, so they will complete it and then showcase it. Yeah,
All right, so I think
yeah.
with this now, just to change the title of this particular one to total orders. And that will be that. So for our trend line, I'll just go back to go and pick what we already did here. So under our line charts, this is the trend line. So we'll just copy it, Control C, then we'll take it to a layout here. Just Control V, drop it. So I'll drop it here. So I can resize it. Then for the pie charts too, I'll just go to the pie charts. I think I did one of them. Okay, I'll pick this. This is the pie chart now. Control copy and bring here and drop. And do the same now. I want to change this one to donor chart. Instead of customer type, I think it's product type that we have. So we just go to product type. We remove customer type from here. Or is it other type? I think it's product type. Product category. No? Okay, customer type, order type. Okay, I think it's order type. So we have this already. So the next one now, I think what we have here. Okay, let me do this one. The scatter plots. So for the scatter plots, we are looking at total discounts against total revenue generated. So it's just for me to go to the visuals. Let me click outside. Okay. This is a scatter chart. I'll just pick it, drag it here. Then I'll just pick my total revenue. And, sorry, as my, okay, so it was my y-axis. Then total discounts in my x-axis. So for my value, I'm going to pick product number or product name. So, and for the visual, so I'll click on this further analysis. So just add a trend line, just on it so that I can see that it's upward trend. So that's what I did there. Okay. For the map, I'll go to the column that has customer state, this cost state. That's what I'm going to use. So click outside, pick the map visual, drag it here also. Then I'll the customer state. Then I'm using revenue to visualize it. So I'll pick revenue and drag it under knowledge. Okay. there's bubble. That bubble size. So it asks for upgrades. So let me just view the charts now. So this is how we came about this. So your size is your total revenue. Then you can add legend if you want to, but we're not doing that now. All right, so the next thing now, I think we have top products that generated revenue for the company. So I using product category. So I'm using this column chart. Sorry, I'm not supposed to change that. Just to click outside. So if you do something that you feel you want to correct, you can Control Z to go back. So I'll click outside, pick my column chart, and drag it here, and drag here. I want to pick total revenue based on the cost of product category is Y. Then this is Y. So this should be here. Revenue based on product category. Then the next visual is going to be another column chart. So I just copy the former one, drop here. So I want to also change it to, okay, instead of having product category, I want to have the product name of the product that was sold. So I have it. And this one is a very long list of products. But what I want to achieve is top 5 products that generated the highest revenue. So I'll just go to my filter. I think I even demonstrated this. So top N, I'll click 5. Then here I'll add my total revenue as my value that I'll use for filter. Then I'll apply. So what I have here is just 5 now, instead of the 20 list I had before. So now all these visuals, what I normally do is I don't allow these visuals to use their background. I'll remove grid line and maintain the background of my dashboard layout. So this one now, what I'll do is I'll just go to General, Effects, remove the background. So it will assume the background of the layout I already have. So then another thing is, under my visuals, I'll check the x-axis. For this one, it's total revenue by product name. So then we know that it's product that is here and it's revenue that is here. So I don't need those titles. So I'll just off the title for that axis. Then I need this in black ink. So I'll change it to black. Then this, I need this, the font should be 10. So I'm okay with that. So I'll go to the x-axis, I'll do the same thing. I'm going to remove the title. Then the value, I want to make this 10 for the font, then the color black. So this is this. Okay, there's something I did not do, the heading. So let me look at the heading here now, the title. I want to do total revenue by product. So I can also change this one now to semi-bold 14. And I want you to take the color, the major color I'm using for my design. So this is what I'm going to have. We just drag it. So you can see now, this one I can just not select it now. So I can just use format painter to transfer whatsoever I've done here to this place. And you can see. So that's this. Then the next one is similar. So let me use format paint here too and see if it will work for this. You can see it also works for this. So instead of having to be doing them one after the other, if I do one, I just keep pushing what I've done. But for this one now, I need everything to show. So I'm going to format this separately. But I can decide to still do the same thing. Let me just use format printer to reduce the formatting I'm going to do here. So what I need to change the header from what it is here. So let me go to the title under general title. So I just want total revenue without discounts rather. Discounts versus total revenue. So these are actually, so I don't need this other information. You just click OK. So I have this, but I need the visual to have both the title for the X and Y axis. So I'll just click on it. However, this title, let it be 10 and let it take this. All right. So I'll do the same for the Y axis. I'll select the title. I want the title for this particular one. Then this is 10. Then the fonts. So we try to, as much as possible, to maintain the same font across our visuals. So for this, I'll do the same. Now, most times, my donut charts and what's it called now? And pie charts, I remove those legend titles. I don't really need it. So it's just to, so if you are seeing total revenue by customer type, you already know that the customers are individuals and business. All right. So let me just format this one. Then general, I have the title. I think I need to change the title. Let me just use revenue, something like shorter. Revenue by customer type. Then the text is 14. Then the new board here. Think I have to increase this YouTube. Then like I did for others, you see. Then generally, I don't want the background. So under my effect, I'll just remove the background. Right, so I'll assume the background of the shape that I have in my layouts. So you can see how everything is coming out now. So it's because I'm hurrying now. I'm supposed to maintain the same layout for everything so that there's consistency in the visualization. But you just need to have the idea. You can apply that in your own. So the last thing I'll do here is this pie chart. Sorry, this pie chart now, like I said, I don't need that legend title. So for my legend, I'll just remove the title. And I can decide to align it, prefer it to be top left, so it will go with the header. Then the text also, I don't like the way the text is. I want it in black, like so, yeah. Then you should check also, you can see the values, those slicer values. You can see that the values are not coming out as we want it. This is 10, change the font, then I want it also in black. So you can see that. So I can start to format this format printer to copy what I have here into this place. And so this will be it. So basically, it gives us an idea of how to go about our dashboard design and how to organize them to meet whatever I want to do. So this one now, I can also format this, my header, So those are just ensure that everything is together. Let me say total revenue by customer states. Then I want these fonts in black, not black, this color for consistency's sake. All right, so this is what we have. It may not be perfect. It's not as perfect as what we had, but this is an idea of how to get your dashboard in place. And I think this one is a little darker. You can decide to tone everything down if you want to. Let me just use my canvas. Let me reduce this particular canvas background. Okay, transparency. Let's say 82 or 80. Okay, so you can see I've toned down what we have here. So it depends on how you want to, just for you to have an idea of what you want, get a layout for yourself and be able to build something. So I don't know if we have any question. I think we'll be stopping here. But before we stop, there's something I need to just show us. This filter on page, filter on this page, filter on all pages. Let me just show us this. Now we can decide to filter this thing based on different pages. All these are slicers we can filter. Those ones, they work for this page. They don't work outside the page. If I want to filter for all pages, I can decide to pick, let me decide to use customer type now. Let me bring it here. I can decide to customize this now. Filter for all page. So if I pick business here, it will filter for everything. Let me go to this donut chart that we created. Let me see. Sorry, I did filter for this page. I'm supposed to do filter for all page. Okay, let me just pick it from here. Filter for this page. So this filter is going to work just on this page. So for all page, I can do a filter for all page. Let me just put the same customer, the same, no, you don't need this. All page, customer type, so that I'll just filter business again. Let's see what happens. When I go to the donuts, you can see that it has filtered this. So this is how to add filter that will cut across other pages. So basically, that will be all for today. If we don't have any question, I will hand over to our hosts. And if we have any question, I think it's time for us to take the questions. Thank you. I'm sorry for the delay. It's like it took us more time than expected, but I hope we're able to get the most out of it.
Thank you so much. What you have given is, if we to quantify it, I think you've given us bonus. Thank you so much. I want to see people's comments in the chat. What do we have to say to our presenter, our tutor today? What do you want? How do you want to express your appreciation? And if you have any question, please raise up your hand. I know that this bright hand is new. So if you have any question, please raise up your hand so that let's take one or two questions. Mark Onaja is saying, wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I can see a lot of people that are planning to apply some of the things they've learned from this into their places of work. Somebody said, fantastic teaching approach. So if there's something you missed out, while maybe in our first session, we use PowerPoint, in a particular session, we use HTML, in another particular session, somebody else used a vibe coding environment to generate the training guide. Emmanuel has used explicitly Power BI to do his entire presentation from beginning to the end. So each of the pages of Power BI was exactly like a PowerPoint presentation. It was just moving from one to another On a particular page, I saw him put a back arrow in case he wants to go to the previous page. So this is fantastic. This is wonderful. And it shows that we didn't just bring teachers, we bring people that are practitioners. So this guy mentioned that the first time he encountered me was in another platform entirely, Joe Analytica, where he went for a training, and then he participated in 30 days of data visualization challenge, and he didn't build a dashboard that was less than 27 because it was very consistent from the first day till the end of that particular challenge. And now he has come to show us from his wealth of experience. And I'm very sure he has applied most of the things he did, even in the outer space, into his work in his organization. And he showed in the quality of the display, in the things he showed to us. And I know that we have gained something that we're going to go and add. So if you add the pre-working videos, the first session, the second session, this session, oh my goodness, we still have 2 more sessions to go. I can't imagine what you all will become and transform to by the time we are done with these sessions. So let us take 2 quick questions before we stop recording. But people are saying highly educating. If you believe in this comment, please go to those LinkedIn page and go and leave your comment there so that people can see what value S Analytics and his team is bringing on board. So I appreciate what you are doing. So let me allow Bright first, then Mark will go on. Our facilitator, please just listen and let's see what they have to ask so that we call it a day today. Apologies, we took more time, but I think it's more value with the more time that we took. Okay, Bright.
Okay, good evening. Good evening, Mr. Dr. Benga. Good evening, Mr. Emmanuel. I don't know if you can hear me.
Yeah, we can hear you very clearly. We can hear you clearly.
All right.
Yeah.
We can hear you.
First of all, Mr. Emmanuel, thank you so much for this. I have, in fact, from the first day when I started building my dashboard, I couldn't even participate for the 30 days challenge because I didn't know what to do. I was totally blank. But as right now, I think I can confidently build my own dashboard. But I have a question. My question now is, what's the difference between? Sorry, I want you to explain more about the matrix for me. What the matrix works and is all about. The matrix table that you actually displayed. And then I didn't know, and then when should it be applied in the dashboard? I don't know if you got me.
Okay,
no, so
I got your question.
I got his question. So let me Emmanuel, let me allow you to rest. We have been speaking for 3 hours.
Okay.
So I want to allow you to rest. So Bright, so for this table, when Emmanuel was demonstrating to us, you can pick your variables and drop it, and they will form their own column by themselves. But a matrix, you need to control what is in the row and what is in the column. So in what is displaying to us, he has already determined that his rows are going to have disaggregate of customer type, and the columns are going to be a subset of the categories. So any other thing you are dropping inside it, like so you drop total revenue inside, the thing distributed across customer type and product category. Then he layered it with something else. So that is the difference between the matrix and the table. But in the table, each of the column, they are independent of each other. So you can see customer name on his own, customer type on his own, sum of discount on his own, to total revenue on their own. But in the matrix, you need to, so if you have done epidemiology before, they talk about 2x2 table, 3x3 table. So this is, you are comparing 2 things together, but you have already determined what the rows will be and what the columns will be. So that is the difference between the two. So, but the more flexible one, actually, that you can put plenty variables on is the table. But the matrix, once you put 2 variables, then you can now put other layers on it because you've already controlled what you want to have in your column and in your rows. So that's that for the matrix and the table. What you have to do is just sit down and look at what he has done or what others have done, it will show you the different things that the matrix and the tables are doing. And even when you are practicing by yourself, you'll find out the difference. It will jump out to you without anybody else explaining to you, because by the time you try to put some things that are not allowed, it will flag it and say, no, you can't put this. But whereas when you get to table, you're able to drop a lot of things. So, Emmanuel, I don't want to stress you. You have done excellently well. The clarity is superb. This is very detailed. This is a lot of new knowledge that I think
So,
people need to sit down with and digest. Okay, please.
all right. So,
All right.
sorry, I want to say something now.
Please do. Yes, please do.
As a way of assignment also, I
Okay.
think they should go and look at tooltips.
Yeah.
Tooltips.
Two tips,
So,
because we cover
yes,
that. Yeah. Two tips.
you
Yeah.
can
All right.
just look at it also.
Okay.
And Power BI is a very powerful tool. If you are able to understand the interface, it will blow your mind.
So the best news for everybody is that, we have done the introductory part and the environment. We have done the DAX foundations. Today, we have built our first dashboard. Next week, if you have looked at what we are going to do next week, we are going to the advanced level. So obviously, two tips and the rest are going to be covered next week. And I'm also going to have seen a work of the individual that is coming next week. The guy also operates at a very high dimension, and all his education has been in statistics. So he's going to be able to speak to us and show us some advanced things that we need to also use to embellish and get out the depth of the work that we'll be doing. Yeah, so two tips is one of the things that we should go and read about, watch, and then do as our assignment. Thank you so much, Emmanuel. Mark, let me allow you to ask your question and make your comment.
Okay, so good evening from here. I don't know if you can hear me.
We can hear you.
Okay, so Mr. Emmanuel, many thanks for taking your time to help us understand this aspect. One of the, how will I put it, one of the setback for most of us is trying to persist where we have some kind of challenges or where the measures are not picking up. But I think with last week's breakdown of DAX and all of that, it has helped out. And I really want to really appreciate you. So my question is on your dashboard, the final one. Maybe you may want to go back there. I noticed that there are some boxes or some KPIs you didn't complete. I don't know if there's something that are meant to be there. Maybe we will complete them or thereabout. Then I also suggest, this is just to the team now, to see how we can have daily tasks. One thing I've noticed is that the daily tasks have a way of brushing up and helping us be up to speed with what we've learned for a day. It's not enough to just come, listen, watch, and then go and wait till the next class. I think we need to, if it would be nice if we have a daily test, maybe like for 5 days or for 4 days. The one on DAX was really helpful.
Yeah, excellent. Thank you so much, Mark, for that comment. So if there's something S Analytics for, that we like to put you to task. So when we started, we were able to create daily tasks for you. So we had to pause it for last week because the content you got for that DAX was so much that we wanted you to digest it, watch the video over and over before this class. But now that you can confidently build your dashboard, you should expect that we are coming back to daily task where you're not going to just be calculating, do a calculation and show them. This time around, your daily task from this week is going to be building a whole dashboard and sharing it. So we'll give you the data for that day. Because of what you've learned in the last 3 sessions, you'll now be able to build a dashboard. So the next 2 sessions is going to help you to put finishing touches, advanced things, that you can put on your dashboard and then reinforce some of the things you've learned from week 1, week 2, week 3. Because we are not here to just do training so that you can learn. No, we want you to be applying it on a daily basis. We want you to become a master of it. Either you like it or you don't like it. There will also be other challenges that will also commission along. They might not be as long as 30 days again. It might be 10 days challenge, it might be 5 days challenge, it might be 7 days challenge. But we are going to give you opportunity to showcase everything you are learning here. Trust us, and I know you know that that's what we're good at, to put it to task. And congratulations to everybody. I so much appreciate you. Thank you for sticking to this point. I think it's been worth the while. We built from a blank canvas to this